How's it going, guys? This is Jack here with the Commander's Wire, and welcome back to another video. We have a lot of news that we're going to cover today, a lot of rumors that we're going to cover today, including some rumors that may have been confirmed, even though this certain player may have not been released yet, but we'll get into that a little later in the video. If you guys have not already, please go down below, drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to know when I post next. I really do appreciate it, and it lets me know that you guys want more Commanders content just like this. So we're heading into day 4 of when the Washington Commanders can start signing free agents, and so far we have nothing yet. It's been pretty quiet today, but we do have a couple more holes that we need to fill, and I imagine Adam Peters is working very hard to get that done. But we had one of our very first former Washington Commanders players sign with another team in free agency, and that's going to be Jacob Martin. He was definitely someone that I wanted to keep in Washington as a rotational pass rusher. Due to all the injuries we had last season, he definitely stood out as one of the better pass rushers with the Washington Commanders, and unfortunately he decided to sign elsewhere. The Tennessee Titans saw that we took Chigakonkwo, and they decided to hit us right back and stealing Jacob Martin. He signed a 2-year deal, I believe worth about $11 million, so I think well worth it. He is someone that I think was super underrated, and he definitely deserved to sign a multi-year deal with a new team, if not with the Washington Commanders. But I could definitely tell this was going to happen. He was not going to stay with the Commanders. I believe he wanted more of a starting role, and unfortunately the Commanders did not want to give that to him, and so the Commanders decided to sign K'Lavon Chaisson yesterday, and later last night they also signed Charles Omenihu, defensive end formerly with the Kansas City Chiefs. Stands at 6'5", 280 pounds. He is 28 years old, former 5th-round pick. He's been all around the league, I believe, with the Texans. I think he's also been with the 49ers, and then most recently with the Chiefs. And I think this is a guy that is going to be kind of a mix between Dorrance Armstrong as well as Dietrich Wise. He's going to be more of your big-body defensive end in your 4-3 packages, but he also has the juice to get after the quarterback. Just 15 solo tackles last year, 28 total tackles, and only 3.5 sacks, but that was on limited snaps. He has shown in earlier years he's able to get up to more than 5 sacks. In 2023, I think he had 7 sacks. So even with limited snaps and playing time, he has shown that he's able to really get to the quarterback and cause havoc in the backfield, both in the running game as well as in the passing game, getting after the quarterback. So I think overall, this kind of sold the deal for me last night when we signed this guy. I really did believe that Jacob Martin probably was not going to come back. Charles Omenihu is definitely more of a rotational pass rusher. Right now he's your 4th string edge rusher, and I think he's around the same talent level as Jacob Martin, with doing a little bit better in the run game. And if you're getting that type of talent as your 4th string, I think we're doing pretty well as a defensive unit. So I'm super happy about this signing. 1 year, $7 million, so pretty cheap. Definitely still allows more room if the Commanders wanted to spend an early draft pick on an edge rusher. I know that K'Lavon Chaisson and Charles Omenihu are going to be out the door next year if they're not extended. So we do have some more spots available for some younger edge rushers to add to the room. But overall, like I said before, super happy about the signing. Right now he's your 4th string edge rusher, and I think he has plenty of talent to be someone's even 2nd or 3rd string edge rusher on a different team. So I think that as a unit, this defensive line with Adam Peters going into free agency is much better, even better than 2024 in that defense. So I think we're about to see the Commanders' best defense in a very long time. I believe all the starters for the defensive line are all former 1st-round picks, whether they be picks with other teams or with the Washington Commanders. So I'm super excited about this defensive unit going into 2026 with Durante Jones at the helm. Next up, I think we should go more in depth on some of the other holes that we still need to fill. Unfortunately, it looks like some more names are getting taken off the board. Keaton Mitchell was kind of a younger guy that was signed earlier this morning, I believe, to the Chargers on a 2-year deal. So he was kind of more of a backup running back that I would not have minded coming to the Washington Commanders on a cheaper deal, but he gets taken up pretty quickly. There are a couple more running backs that I think the Commanders could look out for. Joe Mixon's an older guy. Rashad White's another pass-catching running back. Najee Harris is also a good name to remember. Antonio Gibson. Another name I was also thinking about is Jerome Ford. Still pretty young, 26 years old. Definitely not a starting running back by any means, but could be a solid backup, maybe 3rd running back on the depth chart. Someone that is decent. at running between the tackles and just could add another body to that running back room. But also, if the Commanders aren't able to land a top name, they could also go after Love at pick 7 in the NFL draft. Definitely not my first choice, but after this free agency, the Commanders are definitely doing a lot on the defense and filling a lot of holes that they needed to fill. So it kind of puts them in a better position to choose best player available. And if that player is Jordan Love, I really wouldn't mind, since the rest of the roster is shaping out pretty well. Unfortunately, a lot of people are saying that maybe the Giants are in for Jordan Love. They could draft him at 5. I really don't think so. I know Cam Scatterbo is coming back from an injury, but I don't think they're going to fill that room with Cam Scatterbo and Jordan Love. I just think you're kind of double dipping in a place where you don't really need a double dip. And on top of that, people are saying that the Tennessee Titans are another team that may go after Jordan Love. And I really just don't see it. They just signed Tony Pollard last year, former starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys. They have Tajay Spears, who's definitely more of a receiving back, who just came back from injury in the middle of last season, and he's also pretty young. I believe he's only 25 years old, and I expect them to go with that running back duo going into this year. And I don't really think Jeremiah Love has a spot for himself in that running back room, just because you're kind of getting pretty redundant with the amount of players that you have there. You're obviously not going to sign 3 starting level running backs to a running back room, because that's just not really realistic for any team in the NFL. So I guess one thing they could do is they could probably release Tony Pollard. He's only 28 years old, maybe 29, so he's definitely getting up there in age, and that would definitely make room for Jeremiah Love in the draft at pick 4. And then that also just adds another name for the Washington Commanders to choose to pick someone else in free agency, being Tony Pollard is kind of like your RB1, and then you can go into the draft maybe getting Mike Washington Jr., the running back out of Arkansas, in round 3. I could see that being a possibility for the Washington Commanders. So you kind of have your vet running back and Tony Pollard, then you have a Mike Washington Jr., who's going to be more of that all-around running back, super speedy, super big, pretty fast, and he's probably going to take over the reins pretty soon during the season. And then you have your RB2 kind of being Bill Crosby-Merritt there, who's more of an elusive back. So you definitely will have to figure out more of the receiving back. Maybe you bring back Jeremy McNichols as well. That could be another option, super cheap option. So we'll just have to see. And in terms of wide receiver, you have Juwan Jennings in free agency. He's definitely a name that's been coming up over the past couple days, just because it looks like Brandon Aiyuk is getting held captive almost in San Francisco. San Francisco said they plan to release him after the new league year. Unfortunately, they did not give a specific time, so we don't know if that's at 4:05 after the new league year. Obviously, it wasn't, because we're almost 24 hours later and he still has not been released. So I think the 49ers are going to do their best to hold on to Brandon Aiyuk for as long as possible, just so they can they make every other team wait as long as possible to sign Brandon Aiyuk and put them at a greater disadvantage. So the Washington Commanders are definitely in a weird spot. But speaking of Brandon Aiyuk, PFF, one of the biggest outside platforms regarding the NFL in terms of their grading and their player analysis, put out something pretty strange this morning. This was going viral on Twitter. They list Brandon Aiyuk on their official PFF site already as a Washington Commander as his current team. Everything else is up to date. I was expecting them early this morning to probably get that fixed if it was a problem. However, I'm still sitting here in the afternoon, and Brandon Aiyuk is still listed as a Washington Commander on the official PFF website. So is that a teaser into what PFF already knows? Did Brandon Aiyuk already get released? Is he already signed potentially with the Washington Commanders, and just all this news is just not public yet? I really don't know, but PFF is definitely hinting at something here. I'm hoping that this is more of a confirmation rather than it being a mistake that his name is under the Washington Commanders. But hopefully this is more than just someone playing a joke on the Commanders community. And if it isn't a joke, I'm really excited about this. Earlier in the offseason, I really was not a big fan of bringing Brandon Aiyuk in as a potential wide receiver with Jaden Daniels if he was released by the 49ers. But obviously, after day 1, day 2, day 3 of the free agency period, a lot of the other receivers are getting picked up by the other teams, and the Commanders still have not added a wide receiver in free agency. So there's only a couple names left, and if Brandon Aiyuk is one of those names, I think he's the top priority of this team once he is released. So what are your guys' thoughts down in the comments? Do you guys think this teaser that PFF decided to drop, adding Brandon Aiyuk to the Washington Commanders on their official website. Do you guys think that is them hinting at something? Did they make a mistake? Is this news that has not been publicly released yet, and they unfortunately got to it too early? Let me know down in the comments. I'm really hoping that this is almost a confirmation and not just someone trying to be funny, but let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. This is the end of today's video. I appreciate you guys watching to the very end. We're going to have more videos coming out soon regarding free agency. We're going to have my first mock draft post free agency coming up here soon as well. So be subscribed and turn on post notifications to know when I post that. You guys do not want to miss it. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless, and hail to the Commanders.